Welcome back to Unplugged Headlines. We are on episode 21.
21 already.
Yeah, time flies, right?
It really does.
Um, Today, we're diving into a topic that's kind of hiding in plain sight, you know? It's something we all use every day, but we rarely stop to think about how it actually works.
That's true.
Modern banking.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're going to be looking at this blog post titled, Who's Holding Your Money? How Fintechs Help Turn Banking Upside Down. And I think it's going to be pretty eye-opening.
I think it will be, too. It's kind of a rabbit hole, isn't it? We swipe our cards, we tap our phones, we just assume our money is there.
Yeah.
But this post, it like pulls back the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. Like how much more complex things have become behind the scenes. I've never really questioned how it all works. I see my balance in my banking app. I figure it's sitting in an account with my name on it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a pretty common assumption.
Right.
But the reality is often far more intricate.
The days of your money just, residing in a vault with your name on it are fading.
Okay, now you've got me intrigued. What's changed?
Well, I think about the explosion of digital wallets and online platforms.
Yeah.
And those often rely on what are called unnamed accounts.
Unnamed accounts.
Or ledger entries.
Okay.
So essentially, the financial institution, they know it's your money, because of things like know your customer regulations and all that.
Right.
But the account itself, it might not actually have your name attached to it.
So it's more like a record in a massive digital ledger.
Right.
But how do they keep track of everyone's money if it's all just numbers in a system?
Picture it like a gigantic financial apartment building.
Okay.
Your balance, it's like your apartment number.
I see.
It signifies your space within the building.
Okay.
But the building itself is a master account.
Okay.
Often managed by the fintech company.
So when I load money onto, let's say, Venmo.
It's going into this massive pool of funds.
Uh-huh.
And Venmo is keeping track of how much of that pool belongs to me.
Precisely.
Okay.
And this shift, it has some interesting implications.
Like what?
While it might seem like a minor detail, it raises questions about transparency, especially regarding where your money actually resides.
Right. And the article talks about virtual accounts and virtual IBANs as well. How do those fit into all of this?
So virtual accounts, they're essentially digital addresses within these financial structures.
Okay.
Imagine them as routing instructions that direct money to specific locations within the larger pool.
So it's kind of like the difference between a street address and a P.O. box.
Yeah.
One is a physical location, while the other is more of a forwarding mechanism.
That's a great analogy. And just like with P.O. boxes, it's crucial to know what's behind that virtual IBAN.
Yeah.
Some are merely routing tools, while others are linked to actual bank accounts with settlement capabilities.
Okay, I'm starting to see the layers here. We've got these master accounts, virtual addresses, digital ledgers. How does the actual tracking work? I mean, how do they ensure that everyone's balance is accurate when it's all just numbers in a system?
That's where ledgering systems come in, kind of the unsung heroes of modern finance.
Right.
They're essentially sophisticated databases that track who owns what within these vast pools of funds.
Okay.
Think of it like a digital accounting system.
Right.
Each transaction, deposit, withdrawal, it's all meticulously recorded.
So when my Venmo balance says I have $50, it's not like there's a $50 bill tucked away somewhere with my name on it. It's just a digital record.
Exactly.
Wow.
And this brings us to another interesting concept, FBO accounts.
FBO accounts.
Yeah.
What are those?
FBO stands for benefit of, and it's where things can get even more fascinating. So imagine a company opens a master bank account. Their name is on it. But they're actually managing the funds for their users.
Oh.
That's an FBO account in action. Your money sits within their account. But they have an internal ledger that tracks how much belongs to each user.
So it's like a bank within a bank.
Exactly.
The company acts as the intermediary, managing the money on behalf of its customers.
Right.
But this raises a question. If it's the company's name on the account, how does that affect things like transaction visibility?
That's where things get nuanced. Some platforms structure their FBO accounts, so both their name and the end user's name appear on transactions.
Okay.
This is crucial for businesses that need that level of transparency for accounting and reconciliation.
So if I were a business receiving a payment, I'd see something like Fintech Co., FBO customer name on the statement.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, that makes sense for B2B transactions.
Exactly. But other platforms, particularly those focused on consumers, might only display their own name.
Okay.
It simplifies the user experience,
Yeah.
but it can create headaches for businesses trying to reconcile payments.
So while it's convenient for me to send money to a friend on Venmo and not worry about seeing their bank details, it could be a logistical nightmare for a business trying to match payments to specific customers.
Yeah.
If the platform only shows its own name.
Yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah.
Some platforms, they try to bridge this gap
Yeah.
using like reference numbers or memo fields to provide some attribution, but it's not always a perfect solution.
Right, right. Speaking of potential issues, the article mentioned the Synapse situation.
Oh, yeah.
Can you shed some light on what happened there and what it reveals about the potential risks of FBO accounts?
Yeah. So the Synapse situation, it was a significant event in the fintech world. It demonstrated that even though FBO accounts are designed to theoretically safeguard user funds, things can go wrong in practice.
Yeah.
Internal issues, regulatory scrutiny,
Yeah.
these can impact a company's ability to manage those funds effectively.
So even though my money is, in theory, protected within an FBO structure, there's still a level of risk if the platform itself encounters problems.
Yeah, that's a key takeaway.
Right.
And as these platforms grow and handle larger sums of money, the potential consequences of those risks become even more pronounced.
Yeah.
It underscores the need for robust risk management and a deep understanding of the complexities of these systems.
Yeah. This is starting to sound like a little bit of a tightrope walk.
Right.
We have all this innovation and convenience, but there are also these inherent risks and complexities. But the article also mentions solutions, right? What about open banking? How can that help mitigate some of these challenges?
Yeah. Open banking is a potential game changer by enabling the secure sharing of financial information between institutions.
Mhm.
It allows for things like automated account verification and real-time transaction matching.
So instead of relying on manual processes and trying to decipher cryptic reference numbers,
Yeah.
businesses could automate much of the reconciliation process.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the efficiency gains can be significant. The article mentions companies reducing their reconciliation teams by up to 70% after implementing open banking solutions.
Wow. That's a compelling argument for adoption.
Yeah.
But is open banking a silver bullet? Are there any limitations to consider?
One key limitation is its reliance on users having traditional bank accounts.
Right.
This leaves out a significant portion of the population, particularly in developing countries,
Yeah.
who lack access to traditional banking services.
So it creates a kind of digital divide.
Right.
Those already connected to the financial system benefit from these advancements, while those who are unbanked are left behind. That doesn't sound very equitable.
It's a valid concern. For platforms serving unbanked populations, reconciliation often relies on manual processes or alternative identifiers like phone numbers or government IDs. It's a complex challenge that needs to be addressed.
I'm curious, beyond open banking and addressing this digital divide, what other potential solutions or trends do you see emerging to navigate this complex financial landscape?
I think we'll see increased regulatory scrutiny of these non-traditional account structures,
Yeah.
especially those managing large amounts of consumer funds.
Yeah.
The Synapse situation, it highlighted the need for more robust oversight and accountability.
That makes sense. Greater transparency and regulation could help instill more confidence in these systems. But how do we balance that with the need for innovation and fostering a dynamic fintech landscape?
It's a delicate balancing act.
Right.
We need clear guidelines and safeguards to protect consumers and businesses while still allowing for innovation and the development of new technologies.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world behind our banking apps and digital wallets. I feel like I've peeled back the curtain on a whole hidden dimension of finance. What are some key takeaways you think our listeners should keep in mind as they navigate this evolving landscape?
I think the biggest takeaway is that modern finance is far more intricate than it appears on the surface. We interact with these user-friendly apps and assume our money is simply there.
Right.
But the reality is far more complex.
And those complexities come with both opportunities and risks. Understanding the different account structures, the potential points of failure, and the solutions being developed is crucial for making informed financial decisions. It feels like we've only just scratched the surface here. There's so much to consider, especially as technology continues to reshape the financial landscape. Where do you see all of this heading in the future?
I think one key trend will be the rise of embedded finance.
Embedded finance.
Yeah, where financial services become like seamlessly integrated into everyday platforms and experiences.
Yeah.
Imagine buying a car or booking a flight and, having access to instant loans or insurance options all within the same app.
That sounds incredibly convenient. But wouldn't that further complicate the financial landscape? I mean, we're already talking about these intricate layers of accounts and transactions.
It's true. Embedded finance, it could add another layer of complexity,
Yeah.
but it also has the potential to make financial services more accessible and,
Mhm.
and tailored to individual needs.
Okay.
The key will be ensuring transparency and consumer protection as these models evolve.
So while it might simplify things on the surface,
Yeah.
the back end could become even more intricate.
Right.
This is like a constant push and pull between convenience and complexity.
Yeah.
What about the role of artificial intelligence and machine learning in all of this?
AI and machine learning, they're already playing a significant role in fraud detection,
Yep.
risk management, and even personalized financial advice.
Wow.
As these technologies advance, we can expect even more sophisticated applications that could streamline processes, enhance security, and improve decision-making.
It sounds like a constant race between innovation and the need to understand and manage the implications of that innovation.
Right.
But how do we, as consumers and businesses, keep up with this rapid pace of change?
I think education is key.
Oh,
The more we understand about how these systems work, the better equipped we are to make informed decisions,
There's-
assess risks, and advocate for policies that promote both innovation and consumer protection.
So it's not just about blindly trusting these systems, but about developing a deeper understanding of their mechanics and potential pitfalls. It sounds like a call for a more informed and engaged approach to our financial lives.
Precisely. We need to be active participants in this evolving financial landscape, not just passive consumers.
Well, I think that's a great note to end on. Thank you for guiding us through this fascinating deep dive into the world of modern banking. It's clear there's much more than meets the eye when it comes to our digital transactions. And to our listeners, we hope this episode has sparked your curiosity and empowered you to ask more questions about where your money goes and how it's managed in this increasingly complex financial world. Thanks for tuning in to Unplugged Headlines.